In the vast shadows of myth and memory, there are creatures said to have existed before time itself, the eternal beasts. Guardians, destroyers, and timeless enigmas. Their stories echo across cultures and civilizations. From colossal serpents that swallowed the seas to winged titans that shaped the skies, these beings blur the line between legend and reality. Tonight, we dive deep into the origins, mysteries, and chilling truths behind the legends of the eternal beasts. Are they mere tales woven by ancient storytellers, or do they hold secrets of a forgotten world? Stay tuned as we unravel the mythic tapestry. Legends of the eternal beasts. Across every culture, tales of creatures that transcend mortality echo like whispers carried by the wind. They are guardians, destroyers, and symbols of the eternal struggle between balance and chaos. Unlike ordinary beasts of flesh and bone, these entities are bound to the fabric of creation itself, born when the first sparks of existence clashed in cosmic storms. Humanity remembers them as myths, yet their legends hint at truths buried beneath the passage of time. These are the legends of the eternal beasts, the birth of the eternal beasts. Long before stars ignited, when silence and void consumed the cosmos, forces of raw essence battled for supremacy. Light, shadow, flame, and tide. Their endless collision gave birth to colossal beings, embodiments of these primal elements. They were not born of womb or egg, but of necessity. The universe required guardians to hold its chaotic energies in balance. For beasts rose first, forming the pillars of existence. Solkara, the phoenix of flame, a bird of radiant fire, feathers dripping sparks of eternal dawn, tasked with kindling the stars. Nytherion, the leviathan of abyss, a serpent of endless depths, coils stretching across oceans and void, bearer of secrets hidden in darkness. Terekar, the titan of stone, a beast of mountains, with eyes like molten gems, carrying the weight of lands and roots upon its back. Eloria, the serpent of winds, a dragon woven of storms, whose breath carried life across barren worlds. Together, they shaped the primordial chaos into harmony. Mountains rose, seas filled, skies breathed, and fire gave warmth. From their labors, the first seeds of life sprouted. Humanity would one day walk upon their works, never knowing that every step echoed the breath of an eternal beast. The cycle of time and trial. Unlike mortal creatures, the eternal beasts could not die, yet they were not immutable. They moved in cycles, slumbering for ages, then awakening to judge the balance of worlds. When greed, bloodshed, or ambition threatened creation, one beast would stir, unleashing a trial to remind mortals of their fragility. When kingdoms burned forests to fuel empires, Terekar would awaken, shaking the ground, reminding mortals that stone itself could rise against them. When sailors plundered the seas without care, Nytherion's shadow would eclipse horizons, swallowing ships whole. When mortals sought to control the skies, Eloria would release storms to scatter their arrogance. When war threatened to extinguish light, Solkara descended, bringing both cleansing fire and new dawns. These cycles carved myths into human memory. Each civilization gave the beasts new names: gods, demons, titans, or spirits. But in truth, they were neither benevolent nor cruel. They were balance incarnate. The fifth beast, the Forgotten One. Among the legends, whispers tell of a fifth eternal beast, veiled in obscurity. Known only as Umbrus, the beast of echoes, it was neither born of creation's harmony nor bound to its balance. Instead, Umbrus emerged from silence itself, embodying memory, shadow, and decay. While the other beasts gave form to worlds, Umbrus devoured what was forgotten. Mortals feared its presence most, for Umbrus did not bring storms or fire, but oblivion. Entire civilizations claimed to vanish beneath its shadow, their names erased from history as if they had never existed. Scholars suggest that Umbrus is the reason ancient records remain incomplete, why ruins lie abandoned with no memory of their builders. Yet some sages argue that Umbrus was not a destroyer, but a preserver. By erasing what the world no longer needed, it allowed life to evolve, unburdened by endless repetition. Without decay, there can be no renewal. the heroes and the beasts. As humanity grew, so too did its ambition. Kings sought to tame the beasts, believing mastery over them would grant eternal dominion. Some attempted rituals, binding magic, and colossal weapons to enslave the creatures. Others worshipped them, offering sacrifices to earn favor. From these ages rose heroes, mortals chosen not by fate, but by resilience. They did not seek to slay the beasts, for such a task was impossible. Instead, they learned to coexist with them, forging bonds that transcended fear. The story of Kaelin and Solkara. Kaelin, a wanderer-turned-scribe, stumbled into the desert where Solkara slept beneath dunes of glass. When warlords unleashed armies across the sands, their conflict disturbed the phoenix. Rising in flames, Solkara prepared to burn all to ash. Kaelin, in desperation, read aloud words of peace he had written, offering himself as witness to humanity's capacity for change. Solkara stayed its wrath, recognizing the spark of dawn within him. Kaelin would go on to teach others the art of preserving knowledge rather than destroying it. The tale of Irina and Nytherion. Irina, a fisherwoman, once found her village consumed by the Leviathan's rising tides. Instead of fleeing, she sang to the waves, offering not defiance but kinship. To her astonishment, Nytherion ceased its storm and listened. For years after, Irina taught coastal peoples to respect the sea, warning that it was not theirs to own but to share. These legends remind us that the eternal beasts were never meant to be slain. They are teachers, reminding mortals of humility. Heroes succeeded not by force, but by wisdom, courage, and understanding. The war of forgotten flames. Yet peace could not last forever. In one age long lost, arrogance tipped the scales. A mighty empire, rich in sorcery and steel, declared itself ruler of all existence. Believing the beasts to be obstacles, they forged weapons from the bones of lesser creatures and sought to wound the Eternals themselves. Their assault fractured the balance. Terekar bled magma that scorched valleys. Eloria's winds collapsed cities. Solkara's fires threatened to consume the skies. Nytherion thrashed, pulling continents apart. But the greatest tragedy came when Umbris awakened, not to erase a people but an entire era. With a single echo, it consumed the Empire's name, their victories, their knowledge. Even their enemies forgot them. The War of Forgotten Flames ended not in triumph, but in silence. The world healed, but history bore scars of absence. To this day, no scroll, no ruin, no whisper recalls the Empire's name. Only the beasts remember, the eternal beasts in human memory. Every culture that followed carried fragments of the beast's truth. In deserts, Solkara was worshipped as the eternal dawn, symbol of rebirth. In islands, Nytherion was feared as the shadow below, guardian of the deep. In mountains, Terekar was carved into idols, called the pillar who holds the sky. In stormlands, Eloria became the breath of the world, a dragon who gifted life. And in ruins, Umbris lingered as the nameless one, feared as the silence between heartbeats. Even in modern times, echoes of these myths remain. Seen in phoenixes, sea serpents, mountain giants, dragons, and the mystery of forgotten civilizations. The eternal beasts endure not only in legend, but in humanity's collective subconscious. Explanation of themes. At its heart, Legends of the Eternal Beasts is more than a tale of monsters. It explores several profound themes: balance and renewal. Each beast embodies forces necessary for creation. Fire brings warmth but also burns. Water sustains but also drowns. Stone shelters but also crushes. Wind breathes life but also destroys. Umbris represents decay, showing that forgetting is as vital as remembering. Together, they mirror the cycles of nature, human arrogance and humility. Civilizations that sought to conquer the beasts fell. Those who respected them survived. This reflects humanity's real relationship with nature. Harmony leads to growth, exploitation to ruin. The role of heroes. Unlike typical myths where heroes slay monsters, these legends highlight cooperation, understanding, and sacrifice. Heroes succeed by listening, respecting, and adapting. The mystery of history. The concept of Umbris explains why entire cultures vanish without record. It symbolizes time's erosion, where even the proudest empires may be forgotten. Modern interpretations. In modern fantasy, eternal beasts inspire depictions of dragons, phoenixes, and leviathans. Yet their deeper lesson often fades beneath spectacle. If retold today, their legends can serve as allegories for climate change, extinction, and humanity's fragile relationship with the earth. Solkara could embody wildfires and renewal, Nitherian rising seas, Terraka earthquakes, Eloria storms. Umbris the loss of cultures to time and disaster. They remind us that the forces shaping our world are timeless, vast, and unyielding. Humanity may dream of mastery, but survival depends on respect. The legends of the eternal beasts are stories woven from awe, fear, and reverence. They are not villains to be slain, nor gods to be blindly worshipped, but truths given form. They endure because they speak to something deep within humanity, the recognition that we are small within the cosmos, yet capable of harmony if we choose humility over arrogance. The beasts still linger in myth, in dreams, in the silence of forgotten ruins. Perhaps they sleep beneath oceans, mountains, and stars, waiting to awaken when balance falters again. And when they do, humanity will once more face the trial of coexistence. For the eternal beasts are not merely creatures of legend. They are mirrors of creation itself, eternal, unyielding, and forever entwined with the fate of mortals. The eternal beasts remind us that legends are more than just stories. They are echoes of humanity's deepest fears, hopes, and questions about the unknown. Whether they truly walked the earth or remain bound to myth, their presence continues to shape our imaginations and inspire awe. If you enjoyed this journey into the legends of the eternal beasts, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the hidden corners of myth and history. Tell us in the comments which eternal beast fascinated you most, and join us next time for another tale beyond the veil of time.